Of all of the shows that we've done over the years, those that promote the most debate and discussion typically have something to do with the death penalty. And of course, the case against Mumia Abu-Jamal has been dealing with the death penalty for nearly 3 decades. He has been convicted and sentenced to die for the murder of Officer Danny Faulkner. Now, I want to talk to you about the death penalty itself, Michael, and ask your opinion whether you think people have mobilized behind this case because they are an opponent of the death penalty, or if they really truly believe that Abu-Jamal is innocent.
It's clearly a little bit of both. I mean, there are many folks like me who oppose the death penalty under any circumstance, and also folks like me who, even if this weren't a death penalty case, would still be making the argument about the lack of a fair trial. But let me just say quickly in response to what Tigray pointed out about the eyewitnesses. They keep saying that there were all these eyewitnesses, but there was only one alleged eyewitness to the actual shooting. That's a key point. And then Tigray dealt with the issue of the other folks in other cases exonerated. Since year 2000, 261 persons have been exonerated after having been found guilty. 261. 17 of those were death penalty cases. So what do we do to those 17 had they been executed? Do we bring them back to life once we found out that they did not get a fair trial? So the death penalty is wrong in general, and even if this weren't a death penalty case, I would still be making the arguments I make. And one final thing, I pointed out about why Mumia was factually innocent, but he's also legally not guilty. There's the Mills violation in terms of whether or not the penalty phase went properly. There's the question of the Batson. Batson meaning that you can't keep black people off the jury. And finally, there's Judge Sabo. So how can Tiger or anybody else, in light of those 3 factors, say that Mumia got a fair trial?
There were 4 witnesses. 1 saw the entire murder.
4 witnesses
3
to the actual shooting. Are you saying that
to the actual shooting, the movement of him?
Tigray, that is so wrong. You can't believe that. There's only one person who said they actually saw the shooting.
Read the record, Michael.
Just so we're clear, are you saying now on this show that 4 people said they saw Mumia with the gun in his hand shooting Officer Faulkner? Is that what you're saying right now? Answer that question. Just answer that question.
I can't answer with a yes.
I can answer it. I can tell you no.
Because you're putting something out there that's
I'm
fiction.
saying,
one
as a matter of fact,
from the very beginning, the entire murder. 3 other people saw part of it.
So you agree with me now about 1 and not 4?
Okay, we can argue back and forth about what's a witness and what is not a witness.
A witness is somebody who saw it. That's what a witness is.
Then there were 4 witnesses that saw parts or all of the murder.
Parts.
Parts or all of the murder. Well, that's better than having nobody there. The person was there. They found him there with the gun smoking. I mean, there's so much evidence over this. You just have to make up stuff to say it didn't happen. Speaking
of making up stuff, let's talk about the paraffin. You know that as a matter of fact, that they tested Mumia's outer clothing and Faulkner's outer clothing to see if there were gunpowder residue. That's a matter of fact. You don't dispute that, I'm sure. Why then didn't they check Mumia's hand to see if there was gunpowder residue?
You had a dead cop laying there. You had a wounded suspect. Mm-hmm. The first thing that they were going to do was, first of all, get the cop to the hospital, Danny Faulkner, and take the suspect to the hospital.
Absolutely.
There are many cases where paraffin tests, you're not able to conduct them. I mean, as a lawyer,
when you say not able, it takes 2 minutes to take a cotton swab and wipe the hand.
And it takes 2 minutes to die.
Officer Faulkner is already gone. You got Mumia in the
you find out that he is wounded, and they take him to the hospital.
Why not do it on the way to the hospital? Why not do it on the way?
They're throwing him into the wagon. You understand, you have a dead cop. A lot of police are upset.
I can't believe that you're serious about what you're saying.
I can't believe you're serious about what you're saying.
I've been doing this for 25 years.
So you know of no case, every single case where there is a murder in the suspects there, a paraffin test is always taken.
Every single case involving the murder of a police officer, when the suspect is at the scene, there's always a paraffin test.
How many cases are there, of those do you have?
Do I have personally? Yeah. I might have maybe 2 or 3, but I'm just talking about in my personal experience. I'm saying that.
Okay, well, Michael,
but Tigray, don't miss the point here. Why didn't they do it in the time they had Mumia?
Okay.
Forget about the cases I had. Forget about the thousands of cases. Why didn't they do it in Mumia's case?
Because of the chaos of the scene.
The chaos.
Tell me about the gun that was registered to Mumia.
Simply because somebody has a gun doesn't mean you committed a murder with that gun.
There's another fact there. A gun's registered to him. Let's say
do they teach law in film school? Do they teach law in film school?
One eyewitness saw the entire murder. So
I'm so glad you said the what.
So
you're going to stop saying for.
So you have one eyewitness that saw the entire murder. So you have one eyewitness.
Who worked out a deal with the prosecutor?
Okay, now we're going to go to
who worked out a deal with the prosecutor?
I knew you were going to go there.
That I was going to bring up the facts and the law? You're right about that. I was going to bring it up. I plead guilty to that.
The facts according to Michael Cord.
Is there anything I said today that was factually wrong?
Yes.
What?
Oh, we don't have time to go into that. First of all, the way you characterize the ballistics, I can go on and on and on. It sounds like you're getting the talking points from the Free Mumia movement.
You can always call names and make up stuff. I like to deal with the law and the facts because that's what we as lawyers do.
Well, I disagree with your version of the law and the facts.
All right. On that note, what I would like to do is ask each of the gentlemen where they think this case will ultimately go. There's been 3 decades, Michael, of protest in support of Mumia, yet he remains on death row. Is there really a possibility that he may get a new sentence or that he one day may be proven innocent?
Yes. It's our hope. When I say our, I'm talking about the lawyers in connection with this case, that the Third Circuit rules in Mumia's behalf to say that there was a violation of Mills regarding the sentencing phase. And once that's done, we'll then petition and hope that some court would allow a new trial apart from the penalty phase.
All right, and in your experience putting this film together, talking to the prosecution witnesses, the prosecution team, do you think he will remain on death row and one day ultimately will be executed?
I don't think he'll ever be executed. He'll remain on death row. He'll try every single possible appeal he can get, but he can't really win this case because he's guilty, and that's the bottom line.
And the barrel of a gun is available where?
We're looking for an announcement soon for a wide release.
All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen, very much for talking about a very emotional topic. If you'd like to tell us where you stand on this issue, remember, you can email me at any time at lynn@lynndoyle.net. Thanks for watching.